Breaking news, it's finally back to school tomorrow morning after striking teachers approve a deal to return to the classroom. The ballots from the teachers in the LA Unified School District are still being counted.
It's already an overwhelming yes to the new contract. CBS 2's Tom Wade is live at the headquarters of the Teachers Union in Koreatown. Tom.
Well, Pat and Jeff, as you said, those ballots are still being counted, but the head of the teachers union says this is a huge victory for teachers. Still, there are some signs of dissension in the ranks.
A vast supermajority are voting yes.
And with those results, the LA Teachers Union president declared their historic strike over. Teachers will be back at school tomorrow.
One of the things that we're most proud of is that this campaign for the schools LA students deserve, that ultimately culminated in a strike and a victory.
Dropping off.
Okay. Teachers spent the afternoon and evening casting their ballots. The ones we spoke with were eager to vote yes.
The yes vote means we got not everything, but I feel like both sides had to make a compromise.
Everybody just really rose to the occasion, and it was an incredible sight there to see the sacrifices people were making.
The deal looks like this. It calls for a 6% pay increase, 4 fewer students in each class by 2021, nurses 5 days a week in all schools, full-time librarians in all schools by 2020, and at least 17 more full-time counselors starting in October.
Okay. Woo. All right.
And while the mood at union headquarters was one of celebration, some parents and teachers took to social media to call the deal a bust. The teachers union president says the yes votes prove the deal is popular.
I think the numbers don't lie. Like I said, it's running at about 82, 83, 84% yes right now.
Another teacher tweeted me tonight that she only had 2 hours to read the 40-page contract, and she said that the union gave out robocalls before any results had been released. Reporting from Koreatown, I'm Tom Waite, CBS 2 News.
All right, Tom. Well, the family is devastated after a cancer survivor was killed while riding his bike in Highland. And now the search is on for that driver. CBS 2 Inland Empire reporter Nicole Comstock is live near the scene. Nicole?
Pat, this has been an incredibly difficult thing for the victim's family to deal with because only they really know how hard it was for him to battle with cancer. So to see how easy it was for someone to just hit him out here in Highland and leave him for dead in the roadway, that's been incredibly heartbreaking. Tonight they're just hoping that someone out there can identify that driver. This yellow lab has been staring through the gate all day long, waiting for his owner to come home. His family thinks he knows something's wrong.
But he usually would meet Derek right there whenever Derek would come. He would be right there waiting for him.
But Lula's son never came home last night. 53-year-old Derek Alexander was riding his bicycle home on Sterling Avenue in Highland when a driver hit him in the roadway. The impact sent his body up onto the sidewalk. He died here in the reflective safety vest he wore to make himself more visible to drivers in the dark.
He would always have that on, so I'm sure the person seen him.
However, police say that driver didn't stop.
Just left him there, just heartless.
Now they're investigating evidence from the scene, looking for video, and asking for the public's help identifying that hit-and-run driver.
He didn't deserve to die this way at all.
It's hard for his family to cope with how quickly Derek was killed after such a brave battle to stay alive.
Oh, he survived cancer a good 6 years now. Yeah, they had to remove his ear, and they had to remove a portion of his skull. But he was getting around really good.
Lula says her son was strong-willed and kind-hearted, that he stepped up as a father to help raise his nieces and nephews, and his love for life radiated throughout their home.
And he'd sing that silly song, "Oh, what a beautiful morning," and he'd sing it all the way through.
And deputies are not releasing a vehicle description at this point, so if you have any information, contact the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. For now, reporting live in Highland, Nicole Comstock, CBS 2 News.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Now, a new state law came under fire tonight at the Downey City Council meeting. Abel Diaz, who told a juvenile judge he was involved in the 2015 murder of Downey officer Ricky Galvez, will likely be out in the next few years. Under Senate Bill 1437, which passed January 1st, those who are involved in a murder but didn't actually pull the trigger can get an early release with little to no jail time.
Mr. Diaz was not some innocent kid caught up in the moment and an accident. He actively participated in the murder of Ricky.
The hope is to have it changed. And if we can't have it completely overturned, at least maybe meet somewhere in the middle.
Some argue even though Diaz was armed, he was just shy of 17 at the time and shouldn't have to spend years in state prison.
The man accused of killing a father who was camping with his daughters in Malibu Creek State Park pleaded not guilty to murder today. Prosecutors say Anthony Rauda shot 35-year-old Tristan Bodette last June while Bodette was camping with his young daughters. If he's convicted, Rauda could face life in prison. Rauda's being held on $10 million bail.
A Santa Ana man is accused of trolling the families of two Parkland school shooting victims. Brandon Fleury allegedly bombarded the families with threats and taunts on Instagram for the past month. The families reported the threats to authorities and the FBI got involved. Agents tracked down Fleury and arrested him last week. Now, according to court papers, he confessed to the posts and showed no remorse. He told agents that he was trolling to gain popularity. He claimed he had no intention of carrying out the threats. Fleury has a hearing set in Miami for Monday morning.
Tonight, volunteers are going from neighborhood to neighborhood in Los Angeles County. They are counting the number of people living on the streets. The LA homeless count is the largest homeless count in the United States. City leaders, including Mayor Eric Garcetti, also joined in the effort tonight. Volunteers are covering more than 80 cities, 200 communities across LA County in 3 days. Last year, there were nearly 53,000 people living on the streets.
We know that counting is the beginning of caring, and caring is the beginning of acting, and acting is the beginning of solving, and solving is the beginning of ending this crisis.
The 3-day count will help the city understand the scope of the problem and to determine the funding solutions. In just 12 days, the Rams are going to be taking on the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 53.
And Jim Hill is here right now. And Jim, you talked to someone who knows the thing or two about winning in L.A.
And he also holds a record that he wants no one to ever break. The Sealy Cyclone, that's exactly correct. Now, with the Rams headed down to Atlanta and on the verge of a Super Bowl championship, I sat down recently with the one and only, one of the greatest ever to play for the Rams, Eric Dickerson. Dickerson really didn't hold back his criticism of Jeff Fisher when he was in charge of the Rams, but now, with the right man leading the way in Sean McVay and a whole new culture in place, he sees something very special.
This is big. It really is. It's huge for the city. I saw this. I mean, when we got Coach Sean McVay and the things that he could do, you know, and the coach that he is, I just felt that this would happen. Myself and I think everybody in the organization and outside the organization is very proud of this football team and what they've accomplished. You know, think about it, Jim. 3 years. 3 years. This team has only been back in LA 3 years, and to say that you're going to the big show.
What, in your opinion, has Coach McVay done to this team that no one else could do in a very short period of time?
Josh Norman said to me, so I'm going to tell you something, y'all are fortunate to have him. He said people are trying to find a Sean McVay and all these coaches because they're young. He said it's only one. He said it's like it's only one Michael Jordan, it's only one LeBron James. He said it's only one guy like him.
Oh, and he is very special. On February 3rd, McVay and the Rams will try to do something Dickerson never had the chance to do in L.A., that is win a Super Bowl championship. Pat?
All right, let's hope they do. Thank you, Jim. Now, to another all-time great. This woman has been a Rams fan all her life.
Her love for the team is off the charts. CBS 2's Rachel Kim is live in Fullerton, where she caught up with this super fan. Rachel.
Yeah, Jeff and Pat, our colleague Leslie Marine first met Diane Wallace this past weekend in New Orleans before Sunday's game. While her love and passion for the Rams made such an impression on us, we wanted to catch up with her again back here at home.
The hold is down, the kick.
I grew up here. I can't imagine rooting for another team.
Rams to the Super Bowl!
It was a kick that Diane Wallace had been waiting for her whole life. Because a score would mean the Super Bowl. The 81-year-old lifelong Rams fan got her wish Sunday afternoon as she watched her beloved team beat the Saints in New Orleans.
I absolutely said I have to go to a Super Bowl with the Rams before I die.
One look at Diane, and there's no question she's devoted. From head to toe, blue and gold. Her goal now is to go to Atlanta to watch the Rams score a Super Bowl victory.
They won the Super Bowl in '80, but I wasn't, there, and they didn't win. We're winning this time. We're gonna win. This is my room. This is my Rams room.
Meantime, Diane showed us what she's collected over 30 years. All things Rams.
My old sweats, they're 35 years old, and I still wear them to the game.
From old ticket stubs to football cards, Diane loves to make noise about her team.
This was the Rammet horn from the Booster Club.
Right now, Diane is counting down to February 3rd, and she's got one thing to say.
What else? We're gonna win. We gotta win.
Okay, well, you heard Diane. Her lifelong dream is to go to the Super Bowl. So Rams or anyone else out there, if you can hook her up, please let us know. Jeff and Pat, back to you in the studio.
Rachel, thank you. CBS 2 is your home of the Rams and Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. We may not have images floating on the ceiling like Diane does, but we can help you watch the Rams take on the Patriots Sunday, February 3rd, right here on CBS 2.
I see some up. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Botox bandits on the run. The search tonight for two men who received thousands of dollars of treatment, but then they skipped out on the bill.
5 minutes of terror for a California family when their security system is hit by hackers. Is your home at risk?
More toll lanes, higher taxes, even fees to travel on certain streets. Really? Metro's solution to traffic, charging you for more driving.
And we're getting a look outside right now. Wind still in our forecast and warmer temperatures on the way. I'll have all the details ahead.